Welcome to episode 22 of the Bikini Besties podcast. I'm Lauren.
Kaylia.
Stephanie.
And today's episode is comments from our besties. And like always, before we jump into our topic, we'll do a little prep and improvement season update for y'all. So you can kind of catch up with us, and then we'll get into some actual engagement and words from you guys, because you're our besties. You're first. Yeah, you're the first. I think we're just like going around the circle here now.
I really have not changed much, which is good. My coach actually made the comment this check-in that I'm changing faster with less change to my macros. Sorry, I'm like saying change too many times. Less change to my macros or my cardio, which is great. I kind of made a joke that because I had so many bites in my off season, they actually counted for a lot more than I thought. Because I just keep changing, which is great. So cardio still the same. I'm doing an hour 5 times a week, and then 1 hour with like steps outside. And so I think I'm getting at about 14,000 to 16,000 steps a day. So not terrible, because I've been up to like 25,000 steps a day for sure. But no, everything's good. I just hate my day after my high day. That is the hard day out of all the days. It's just a harder day. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's a harder day. That day is not fun, but I'm just happy that I've kept it in, and it's ends up being almost like twice a week. So yeah, just being grateful for where we're at, because it's about to go bye-bye.
Yeah. How many weeks into prep are you again?
4.
4
I
weeks
started
in?
July 2nd.
Wow, I feel like that's
4 weeks, yeah.
That's already flown by like so fast.
Yeah.
Like where did July go?
Yes.
Jesus.
I know, right? It's August is this week. Next week.
Yeah.
Are we on the 20? Oh gosh, the 28th.
Yeah.
Today's the 28th.
Oh God.
I know, right?
Yeah, I gotta pay rent in 3 days.
The rent schedule keeps you on what day it is.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. But no, yeah, in September, which is, I love fall. So I'm excited, because I'm like, I love heat, but I also love fall.
Yeah. August and September are always really nice here in
Yeah.
Boise, because it's like still like warm, but it's not like blazing summer. We had a crazy heat wave.
Yeah.
The last few weeks.
Yeah,
I think that's kind of dying down now.
Yeah. Get
Finally.
to go more walks with the dog.
Yeah, taking the dog on walks is like the huge part of the weather getting better.
Yeah.
for our step count. We've been going late at night.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I get so tired though.
Yeah, you go to bed early.
I do go to bed early. 9 o'clock is like 9 to 10. 9 to 10.
9 to 10.
9 to
Yeah.
10.
10's like my bedtime.
Yeah.
I'm more of a 10 to 11.
Yeah, I start to have a little toddler like, I gotta But anyway, how's your prep going?
Good. We are officially 12 days out from Texas Pro, which is...
Ooh.
The countdown is on.
It is.
It's been on, but it's on.
Yeah. I have like a little whiteboard on our... like they're like clear acrylic boards that I put on our fridge, and one's a calendar and one's just like a blank one. And so I've had a countdown of like how many weeks out from Texas Pro we've been, because Anthony decided to do Texas Pro like way before I even knew I was doing it. Mm-hmm. So the countdown for Texas Pro has been on there for like 6 weeks, even though I didn't know I was doing it. But I think it was just like meant to be.
Yeah.
But today I changed it to days out instead of weeks out. And Anthony walked in, he's like, "Whoa, that got real." Jesus. So it feels very real, being days out, which is super cool. I've been getting new low weights almost every single day. I think my weight's been dropping fairly quickly this last week. We literally haven't changed anything though. Like I'm still doing the exact same amount of cardio, exact same macros. So I've been doing 6 low days or 6 base days. It's like about a little over 1,000 calories, and then 1 high day, which just bumps my carbs only. Mm-hmm. And so my carbs jump up to 150 for the day, which doesn't sound like a lot to some people, but it's definitely giving me life today. Yesterday was a little touch and go on the energy and the mood.
Because that's like your 6th day, right?
Yeah, that's my 6th day. So today it's like I'm a whole new person again.
Yeah. And that probably carries over into like the next day, I think.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, and then it kind of
And then
the next
Tuesdays
day or
are
two.
okay.
And then it just goes
Yeah.
downhill
And then
from
it
there.
just tapers down, and then I'm like pushing Friday, Saturdays.
Yeah.
But that's how it's been. Like, and then my cardio has been 6 days a week. I do 75 minutes. And so my steps have been averaging between 15,000 and 20,000, depending on how much excess walking I do and what lift, if I'm training or
Mm-hmm.
anything like that. So, but it's literally been that for so long. We haven't had to change anything. It's just like keep going. But I am checking in more often now. So instead of just my weekly check-ins, we're checking in as needed, and it's increasing in frequency. So I check in again tomorrow after this high day today, and we'll see how that goes because it's getting closer to the show. So maybe there'll be more fine tuning, maybe we'll deplete more, maybe we'll wait till peak week I have no idea how it's gonna go.
The plan is.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for it. So I booked everything. We got our flights, we've got our hotel, we've
Nice.
got our rental car,
Sweet.
hair, makeup.
Go.
Yeah.
Next
got
month will be single digit days.
Yes. So next week when we're recording, it'll be peak week. So it'll be really exciting.
I'm
but
excited.
yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, and it's just kind of like it almost feels surreal to be like so close to a show again, because I realize it's been almost a year since I've been on stage. The last time I was on stage was early September for Sasquatch Pro last year.
Yeah.
So it's literally almost been a year.
Full year.
I think it'll be like 11 months off stage or something.
Mhm.
So I'm excited to get back up there.
And you're bringing the changes. So
yeah.
I'm excited to see this physique.
Yeah. This has been like, it's been interesting. I've been like walking around my house and like we have like a mirror in the living room and a mirror in the bedroom and stuff. And I'll like see my leg and I'll be like, oh, that's different. And Anthony's like,
line.
you already saw your leg earlier.
It's so exciting.
And I was like, whatever.
Every time I see it, it's exciting.
It is. It's just, it looks different. Because I was like telling him, I was like, I've weighed a lot less. I've been probably close to this body fat percentage before or less even. Because my stage weights have been down to 112, 114 last year, 112 when I got my pro card, and I weigh 120 today or a little over. And so it's kind of like,
Don't you notice it's like a more like athletic and like this athletic,
Yes.
fuller look that's like so pretty?
and I
Yes.
think
Like,
that's why I'm like a little more excited, because
Yeah.
I don't just look like a skeleton. I
Yeah.
don't look skinny. I like see muscle and I see like
Yeah.
lines and
Yeah.
hardness, and I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa,
It's not like this just little depleted self.
Yeah.
exactly.
No, I
Uh,
love
I
it.
feel like that's what's exciting
Yeah.
about it. Yeah.
I finally feel like I am at a level where it's like I've got the muscle, so when I get lean, like it's really showing my muscle, and it's not just me getting skinny.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's just exciting.
Yeah.
And then I guess the only other thing I've been doing is drilling my posing a lot more. Coach made a little few suggestions, and so I'm making sure that I'm executing that. And because I think like, yeah, it's definitely an exciting to bring your best physique, but I also feel like I'm like, oh, well, if I'm did
Gotta
all this
show-
work
Show it
to
off. Yeah.
bring my
Right.
best, I really need to be able to show my best.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so
just, being grateful for a coach that has that attention to detail,
Yeah.
right? That it's Bikini is all about the
Yeah.
details.
yeah, and then like Kaylia worked with me last week. She met up with me, and we did a posing session, and it was just really nice. Like I showed her like my coach's feedback, and she like helped me interpret like how to like think about cues where I could execute that, like, and repeat it, and make it like something where it's like every time I'm hitting that exactly the same.
Right.
And so sometimes it's like it's really nice to have someone watch you, either in person or opposing coach who's kind of can like look at that and be like, okay, so this is how you do what he's trying to say.
Right.
Yeah. It's kind of like how we have to interpret judges' feedback to us. Like
Exactly.
coaches, like as detailed as coaches are, they know what they want. They like see you doing something and they're like, I want you to do this. I want it to look like this. But they've got tons of other clients too, and they're not your posing coach. So they don't have time to sit there, not all the time, like sit
Yeah.
there and like write out and go back and forth, like do this. This is the cue I want you to use. And so especially as advanced athletes, we have to go like seek
that work.
like our posing coaches
Yeah.
or someone who has that eye or whatever, a friend, a peer of ours, and like, okay, this is what my coach is telling me to do. I'm doing this. Does it look like what they're, it's just that like,
Yeah.
we go do our homework and then bring it back to our coach and say, okay, I've been working on it. Is this now what you want? Like, and then they can say yes or no, or,
or headed in the right direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I feel like that's exactly what our posing session did this week. And we'll see what he says tomorrow.
Fingers crossed.
Update
Fingers crossed. We understood. We understood the assignment.
Kaylia's update now.
Oh, me.
What's up? What have you been up to?
What have I been up to? Eating. Yeah, I'm not hungry. But sorry.
She's not shoving it in her face or anything. Me talking about my low day after my high day. Well, actually, I'm over here eating, feeling good. I don't know what that feels like.
Yesterday, I almost murdered someone.
Yeah, I know. We haven't changed. I don't know. No, we did not make changes since last week. So I'm at like almost 2,200 calories. I'm like 20 away. But my weight this week is actually, I just saw 127 again, which I was fluctuating between 120 and 129. So I just saw like 127 and I was like, oh, we're going down. Okay. So we might get some, and I'm not, honestly, my activity is lower. I'm getting less steps. I've just been busy working and haven't really been, I don't know, like this week I've just been busy and so I'm just not thinking about like my steps. I'm doing them and I'm getting close, but I'm not like trying to hit.
Yeah.
And so my activity's been a bit less. I'm doing all my cardio, my training, but I don't know. I'm still eating the same amount of food. I do my bites, but I don't know what's happening. So my weight's kind of gone down. Yeah. It's been trickling down. So, which is like fine, I guess. I don't know, but we'll probably see if we increase food a little bit because of that. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just really super hyper focused on training. Like that's my just big thing, just training. Just making sure I've been intense and super focused lifts, and I am, and they're going great. And just like life stuff and working, and I don't know. It's kind of this is the life season. Like this is where like I make training a priority. I get all my cardio done. Things for me when I'm in my like improvement season that I let take a little bit of a back seat are like things like steps. Unless I'm noticing like my weight is like going up for some unnecessary, I don't know, reason or whatever, then I'm like, okay, we got to be active again and blah, blah, blah. But if there's a day where I'm busy and I'm like 2,000-3,000 steps short, I don't care. Because there's going to be prep where I care, and then I make sure that gets done. And so there's little things that I will let slide, and that's one of them. And then I'm just really focused on like a lot of like stretching and mobility work, really trying to keep my glutes from being tight, because obviously if we have tight muscles, it can be hard to grow. And so I make sure after every workout I stretch. I spend a lot of time stretching and rolling out my glutes. Other things too, hips, back, all kinds of stuff, hamstrings. But so mobility is a big focus along with training. And then I'm trying to think here. Yeah, I don't know.
You were definitely the other day like telling me how much like you were talking about training. You're like, I just love training right now.
I do.
And
yeah.
it's just like super cool to hear, because it's like kind of like for lack of a better term, meat and potatoes of bodybuilding is the training. Like, I mean, I know we all have our nutrition, but like the nutrition is usually like it fuels the training, or it's what the tool we use to get shredded because you cut back or however. But like that's kind of probably how you even like, the most important part is being able to like love.
Well, that's what keeps me. That's what's always that's what's always kept me, I think, going in improvement seasons. And like, if you know me or followed me or hear me talk, you know how much I love improvement season. Yeah. I love prep, don't get me wrong, but they're different things. And so like for different reasons. But if I had to pick one, it's going to be improvement season. And especially how I'm doing it now, where I'm staying at a physique that I like and stuff. And I have the energy and the food and stuff to be in the gym. But I just love like feeling like an athlete. I like just looking like one and feeling like one. And I hate I just hate the fatigue of don't we all hate the fatigue of prep? But like that's the part. Like I can be hungry. It's the fatigue of prep. It's coming into the gym and like a weight just feels so heavy to move in the gym.
Yeah.
Not even do a rep, but like to move the weight to pick like. And so I hate that feeling. You just feel like weak and you know,
even
it's
more just getting up.
Yes,
you know,
yeah, just
you get
getting up
and
where you're like on the couch and you're just like,
you just have to do like one
I don't
activity
want my water
at a
that
time.
bad.
Yeah, exactly. It's like one thing at a time. Your life almost like slows down because you have to take all
and
these
thinking
breaks.
about it is energy.
Yeah,
like thinking
exactly.
about things.
Yeah.
So that fatigue is just like, oh, I hate it.
Yeah,
I
agree.
love just having life and energy where you're not like dreading getting off the couch or having to walk into a store. Like, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good. I really love training right now.
Yeah.
Training sessions are like, they're so good and I'm so excited. And
it's what made most of us fall in love with bodybuilding in the first place. Nobody like gets into bodybuilding being like, oh yeah, I dieted once and then I really just wanted to do it
and just wanted to keep on dieting.
I just wanted to be hungry.
Yes, I just wanted to be hungry.
Like,
No,
you know,
said
most
no
of us
one
got
ever.
into it, for training. Like we loved training, we
Right.
loved improving ourselves, pushing ourselves. So it's getting back to the foundation.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
exactly.
So,
yeah,
no,
and
I
I've
love
done a little. I set like so this improvement season. It's not really a goal of mine to like. I'm not a strength focused, I guess. Is that the word I'm trying to strength focused? That sounds weird because usually we want to like, and I do want to progress in weights, but that's not my focus. My focus has actually been like I have talked about is just like feeling the muscle and like how much did I squeeze that muscle, you know? Like it's like chasing a feeling.
Yeah.
And obviously I track my weights and I do pay attention. I make sure I'm not going down in weight. I am like going up, but they're like little baby increases. But I'm also something that is making sure my workouts are like super intentional where I'm done even with a glute day within an hour 15. Like my glute workouts used to be like almost 2 hours. So that was either I was doing too much or I was just wasting time. I wasn't. So what I do is I log out. Typically I log out of Instagram. I log out of social media for my lift. Like I only allow myself if I'm in the gym on it while I'm on the treadmill getting steps or cardio. Then I log out. And I just go lift. And then in between, like depending on the lift, like my rest times are probably anywhere about a minute to 3 minutes, depending if it's like a glute, like a hip thrust or a squat or what. Or not. Anyways, you get what I'm saying. A bigger lift. And I just will like get some steps or I'll just kind of chill. Like, but my workouts have been like an hour to an hour and 15. So I'm like just making sure everything is super like I'm not going over my rest times unless I really feel like I need it. I'm just being intentional. I'm just like just super dialed in. The time I go to the gym is like super awesome because it's like slow and quiet and so that you don't have to like wait for equipment and stuff. So I'm just kind of like able to just go to the next thing and like get it done, check, get it done, check. It's really good. It's really good. Yeah.
I love the concept of just like intentionality. Is that the right way to say that?
Yeah.
Being intentional.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that, especially in bikini, like once you get like kind of like your base foundation core of muscle, we're not trying to be the biggest, but we're trying to have a specific shape and a specific look. And so it's like, you don't want to just like use your time to like get a PR. You want to use this like specific time you have set out for an improvement season to make the most efficient improvements for your physique, for aesthetics, for the look, for what you need.
Exactly. And so because my goal has changed to not really necessarily be like how heavy weight can I lift in this exercise? My goal is actually my tempo and like or a focus is slowing reps down. So I noticed like to do a set is taking longer than I used to because like if you think about kickbacks, I'm now doing like 1, 2, 3, 4 tempo, like slow all the way through the concentric and the eccentric. And I'm like squeezing at the top. Like, so it's taking longer because I used to just be like kickback, right? Like, you know? And so, but I think I was wasting a lot of time in between my exercises. And so my workouts were taking long. Now what I'm doing is like, okay, be super intentional about your rest times, hop right into the next set because you need to use your time in your sets. Yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah. Because I'm so focused on tempo. And then what I'm noticing is like, then when I go into the second or third set, my glutes or whatever muscle it is, but I'm focused on the glutes. They're like on fire. Like they're like, they don't really feel like they've recovered from the previous one-ish, but that's kind of the like point is that they're fatigued and we're like, and so, it's just different.
Working.
Yeah. So it's just an all different feeling and focus, I guess, than I've ever had before. And so it's good. Let's just hope these little glutes can grow. Let's just hope they grow in a few months.
Intentional training. Yeah.
They will. They're growing. We're manifesting it. We're making this happen.
But also just focusing like on your footwork too, because I remember you saying about how like putting a lot of stress on your bigger toe, that kind of thing. So there's a lot to remember past just like how much am I lifting?
Yeah. Like it's all just like I'm like constantly doing these little mini check boxes when I'm doing a set, and it's mostly just glutes focused, but that I'm really being intentional with that. But I think about like, okay, where's my weight? I want it a little bit more on the inner part of my foot, and then I want to like make sure my toes are spread, and then I want to like grip the floor, and like there's all these things. Okay, once I have that now, like are my hips in the right spot? Like I'm not using my back, like because my erectors, my low back, like I can, especially when I do kickbacks, I have to think so hard for kickbacks. Like, oh my God, I have to think so hard. And I just learned I have to do really short range of motion. And so I have to like squeeze, which is maybe what everyone does, but I didn't know this. So I wasn't doing this, but I have to like, I have to elevate myself so the foot I'm kicking back can like hang. And then I have to squeeze my glute, and then I kick back and I contract it. And like the range of motion is pretty short, but oh my God, it is painful. And it is like the glute like pump I get in my upper glute, which I didn't know. Like what? Like me upper glute pump. So anyways, I'm learning and slowly learning how to execute it correctly. But we'll get there. I wish I learned this, like 5 years ago, but it's fine. It's okay. Imagine the boat we would have, but it's okay.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's all good. Permit season going well.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yes.
Awesome. How did you get the shorter range of motion? Because I remember isn't there a comment or something one of our followers talked about with
they
like a shorter.
They talked about a glute kickback.
Oh, like what we use, a strap.
Yeah, she was talking about the strap placement. Whether she wanted you liked it, like she was wondering knee or ankle for the strap placement.
I do knee.
I vote knee as well.
I do knee. I feel like the lower it goes, it's my hamstring takes over. For me, it's really, even in kickbacks, everything. For me, my hamstrings take over on glute things, and so so I do knee. I need to figure out a way. My current straps only fit around the lower part of my knee. I actually. At the old Mecca, the old gym, we had something where I was able to put it above my knee, right under my hamstring here, right here. That was the best for my glutes.
I have one from Amazon.
Amazon?
It's above my knee.
Oh, okay. Why need
I
that?
will send it to you.
Okay, I need
Link
that
it.
because if it's above my knee, there's zero hamstring and it's all glute.
Yeah.
And so
It's shorter range of motion. It's perfect. I like doing it side, like the curtsy ones. I like supersetting that with regular kickbacks.
Yeah,
and then I can feel both.
Yeah, I have on my plan. I do 2 days of kickbacks. Well, I have 3 glute days. Okay, 3 days. Just kidding. And one of them or 2 of them are the diagonal, like the upper glute, like upper, like or mid. No, I'm messing this all up. You guys get what I'm saying? And then I have one like regular straight kickback, which it focuses really on that like upper, not the mid, but the
max,
upper max, whatever. Okay. You're not a trainer over here. So that's what I do. But
so I have only tried putting it around like below my knee with the little clip with the strap with the D-rings like once or twice. And I think I just never took the time to really master that motion.
Okay.
So I actually don't like the ankle straps. I use an IPR strap. IPR is like the brand, and it goes around my foot.
Okay.
And
like
it comes
heel?
around here and connects to the front. And so I think about like pushing through my heel, not from my ankle. And then I can like angle my foot differently. And when I angle like if I turn my toe out a little bit, I can feel it more in my upper glute than if it's straight. And so I feel like it in from pushing through my heel versus like my ankle. So it's actually attached to my foot and not on my ankle.
Oh, cool. Okay. I've never tried it that way.
Yeah. So I like, it's like a little strap around my shoe.
I notice I have to point my toe completely down. I can't flex my foot. If I flex my foot, my hamstring takes over.
Through my heel?
Yep. I have to literally like point my foot like this down and then squeeze my glute and kick back. If I flex, my hamstring wants to take over.
Oh, interesting. Because I
Isn't that weird how we're all just so
I
like,
flex and then I rotate my foot out a little bit.
I do that too.
And then push through my heel, and it's a foot strap.
Huh, yeah.
Yeah, for most of my kickbacks. But I'm wondering if more of an adductor, like a side kick on the cable machine, if I would feel it better doing it there. I just don't have the straps, so I just never really played with it. Yeah. But hey, if you send me that link.
Yes, I will. I make sure Cody puts it on there. No, but yeah, I love that kind of shorter range of motion because I agree. It's easy for your hamstrings to take over. One thing that I have to be careful of is like the foot that I'm kicking back. If the weight is too heavy or I'm like on my last couple, sometimes I'll lose my form in the way that I'll start to like lift that hip up.
Yes.
And so I have to really make sure that I'm staying nice and level and straight. Otherwise, I just put it down. I usually do my curtsy lunges are usually about 10 pounds lighter than my regular kickbacks. It's kind of the
yeah.
That much.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, just making sure that you're using the right form and that, I mean, if you are
you guys
form,
the type
like
that
last.
bend over in your kickback? Like, are you bent over?
Not all the way.
Oh, yeah.
Cody's
not
bending
all,
over.
not all the way.
I have to
I have
like
to be more upright.
Yeah, I'm more upright.
I'm like 45. Like
You're
I
like,
have to be
okay.
bent.
You're tilted,
I'm
but
tilted over, but not like all the way bent over.
Yeah.
I do lean forward quite a bit. Because I feel like then I can like almost like push back into my glute, like my weight transfer like into it. I don't know how to describe that.
I'm pretty upright because I have to my back likes to live in the anterior pelvic tilt really bad, and so I have to like tuck my hips. I have to consciously think about tucking my hips in and not engaging my erectors and like squeezing my glutes and then kick. That's why it's such a short range of motion. So yeah, I'm like pretty
the higher I stand up,
upright.
The shorter my range of motion is. If I'm more bent over, I can do like a long stretch.
Yes, and if I've tried the bent over, and I'll sometimes go back to it and try it again because I constantly try like certain positions again, like to see. Yeah. But the stretch, like, and I don't know what's right or wrong. I don't know if you like. That position, I lose it. I lose the engagement.
It takes more stability and more stabilization muscles, and so because of that, then and if you're not as glute
dominant
if it's not as easy for you to engage your glute, then you would focus on like these 10 to 12 other muscles that are engaged as opposed to the one.
Right. Okay, so that's why it's better for me, the shorter range of motion. And I literally just I only feel and think about my glute squeeze. Yeah. And then it's like on fire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I feel like glute kickbacks, like there are so many variations to it, like on a cable machine.
Yeah.
Like your placement of where the strap actually attaches to, how far you stand away, how much you lean over, your angle that you kick out at. Like some people like more of 45.
Yeah.
But like even like when you do like the straight back kick back, some people will turn their toe, some people straight. It's interesting how many variations. And I was watching like a video on training in like different glute kickbacks, like an instructional video, just like going over it. And it's like really what you feel most.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
But you have to try things. I think people sometimes get stuck in what they do.
Yeah.
And then it's hard because we're in the gym and it's like, we're not there to like, oh, let me try these 5 different ways and see which one activates. Like you're kind of in and out. So sometimes you just get into this pattern of doing it exactly the same way. And so just making sure that you do, well, obviously like listening to the podcast, listening to different ways that people do things,
Well, even like talking to you guys, like I'm like, oh, well, maybe if I did try a strap that wasn't on my foot.
And now I want to try a foot thing.
Yeah. We'll just like trade straps one day.
Exactly.
But it's like just like brainstorming with you guys on like, oh well, what if I did try it like that? You
Mhm.
know, I think
Yeah.
that's kind of cool. And so I think, yeah, I don't think there's only just like, even if one way's been working for me or
Yeah.
someone,
Mhm.
I think even switching it, or even like if you have two different glute kickback days,
Right.
doing one a certain
One way
way
and-
and one a different way.
Mm-hmm.
You're hitting it two different ways that week.
Yep.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
so it's like
Yeah.
can
That's
keep
what
going.
mine is.
Yeah.
So I guess we kind of jumped into our topic real fast.
Yeah, sorry.
Steph
I just
right-
remembered.
perfect.
It's all right.
like, we got the good segues going in through there.
funny.
But today we called our podcast comments for our besties, or comments from our besties.
Yes. Comments from our
Comments.
besties.
Yeah,
Besties.
because
We're diving into your.
we ask
YouTube.
every week for you to like leave us comments and replies, because the reason we do this podcast is not just for us to sit here and talk to ourselves. We
I do like to talk.
we do hope this like helps others, and like, so it's like really nice to hear back from people, because it's like your comments that you share, even if they're not questions, like those ideas, like we take and we hear and we
Mhm.
listen,
Absolutely.
and we want to share those with others and just kind of keep building community about it.
Mhm.
So today I think we're gonna read some of your most recent comments, DMs, shout out for engagement, and helping us with our
Yes.
podcast and supporting us, and take some time to do a more in-depth reply
Yeah.
to the comments.
Yep.
So
Mhm.
Alrighty. So this one's from Alyssa. She wants to know, what protein powder brands and flavors do we recommend?
Oh, yes.
we all have good ones. Well,
I think we agree. Because you, for your creamy.
yeah. So I, for the longest time, never used protein powders, especially in prep, because I like prefer to eat
yeah.
my calories than
That's
drink
how
my
I
calories.
was. Yep.
Mhm.
So I'm not a protein drink girly.
Like just pour in water and drink.
Yeah.
Like back in the day.
Yeah, I did that.
no,
Like,
yeah.
my first prep. No,
Yeah.
I do not do that anymore. I've done it. I can, but like,
Ugh.
there's like no.
Who
point.
does that?
Sorry. Like
No,
if
that's
you
so
have
funny.
like, if you're a guy, especially, and you're
The guys do it. I think it's very common.
Gainers,
yeah, guys do
things
it
like
more.
that.
I think
Yeah.
because their protein goals, like
True. So
are
high.
so high that they kind of maybe need to have a little
Their
bit more
macro goals in
supplement.
general.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Seriously. But like their protein goal, or their protein amount, is like, they supplement it. And that's what protein powder is it's a
Mhm.
supplement. It's to add. But recently I've been adding protein powder because I make a creamy, so a protein ice cream every night.
See?
And so
Oatmeal.
that's been my like a little addition. I used to make like little protein puddings, or I don't even like adding it to oatmeal, because I feel like that's a
Same.
waste.
I don't like
I'd
to
rather
put it-
like have a protein and my oatmeal.
Yes.
Like not like
Because I
a
can have my
flavor of
creamy
my oatmeal.
and oatmeal.
Yeah,
That's
instead of
fair.
flavoring my oatmeal, basically. So I don't know.
Like some people put it in their coffee as creamer. I've tried
can't.
I've tried it and it's
It's too
it's
clumpy
okay.
still, no matter what.
Yeah, it's
good
okay.
for-
But again, I rather eat my like creamy or eat my protein, and I have my own little special low cal. I need to do something on the podcast with my coffee and like share my little like recipe, because it's so low calorie and you can have like 4 or 5 a day, and it's like, yeah, crazy. And we need to like, I need to make like a little chart and compare it to like Starbucks,
Oh my goodness.
like
Yes.
my coffee versus the money and the calories you spend at Starbucks.
The macro-friendly coffees.
Okay,
It's a
sorry,
big
that was a
deal.
tangent. Anyways, protein powder.
But anyway, I have been using UXO supplements protein powder. I'm actually a UXO athlete, so of course, like, I'm using my athlete. I've got a discount code. It's code LOLO, and I've got a link in my bio on Instagram too. They actually just came out with 5 new flavors.
Wow, 5?
Yeah, so they have 7 flavors total.
What's your favorite?
My favorite. So when I first did like the taste testing, I had a different flavor than what I actually make my creamy with as a favorite. I am obsessed with the Rocky Road flavor.
Mm.
It is like this chocolate mousse creaminess, and then it has little mini marshmallows in it. And
Oh,
unfortunately, the creamy, when you do the spin, like grinds them up, so you don't get little mini marshmallows in your creamy.
okay. Here's what you should do. want to hear my
Take
idea?
them out.
Sift them out.
That's
I
funny.
Yes.
It's
And
just
then
so much
put 'em back
work.
in.
It's
That
just so
is
much
dedication.
work. But they're little freeze-dried marshmallows,
That's funny.
and they're very like, yeah. Anyway, it's super good.
Mhm.
And it's not because Rocky Road is like the traditional flavor has like a peanut butter in it. It doesn't have like a peanut buttery flavor. It's just like a chocolate.
Wait, Rocky Road has a peanut butter flavor in it?
Yeah, you're supposed to have like nuts in Rocky Road.
Yeah, like
Oh,
Peanuts.
you're right. Yes. Okay. Yep.
It's
I
chocolate
forgot that
peanuts
part.
marshmallow.
Mhm.
Is Rocky Road.
I always thought of it as chocolate and marshmallow. That's it.
Yeah, there's peanuts in Rocky Road, right?
Yeah, I think peanuts
You're
are, like,
right.
some type of crunch.
Yeah, you're right.
So there isn't that in this Rocky Road flavor, but that's totally fine with me. You
Mhm.
can always add nuts or peanut
So
butter.
it's like what I'm saying, chocolate marshmallow.
Yeah, it's literally that. So it's like a sweet, creamy, moussey chocolate, and so it works so well in the protein ice cream because it's like super creamy flavored.
Mhm.
And then the second one I've been using the most is actually the vanilla cream. Or the vanilla bean. Sorry, vanilla bean. They have a vanilla cream and a vanilla bean. And I like the vanilla bean one. Mostly because I just like basics with the ice cream.
Yeah.
And I do like strawberries. Strawberries and vanilla. And then I guess my last favorite, which was my favorite during the taste testing, is the strawberry cheesecake. It's really good, but I just...
Taste buds have changed.
I've been really like
Want some
craving
chocolate.
that chocolate. But yeah, those are mine. So UXO, protein, try Rocky Road, code LOLO, save. Yeah, that was my favorites.
I think those are the three that Zach and I just got too, just to try them out. But I think his favorite so far was the strawberry.
The
I
strawberry
like the
cheesecake?
vanilla bean. So,
Yeah.
but I think I tried the one that you suggest. I forget who it was.
So I'm not like a sponsored athlete or anything, but I use Get Raw Nutrition. So
Mhm.
CBums.
Yeah, CBums, yes.
CBums. And I've tried so many proteins, and this is like so good.
Yeah,
I
it is
love really sweet things, like really
too.
sweet protein, and their flavors to me have just been like, I don't know. For my little taste buds, they have been
Off the
perfection. They're
charts.
super sweet. They like, if you're trying to bake with them or blend, and so like the creamy, they're so perfect for blending and baking.
I think their
and
cinnamon one is the one that
I've
is there
had
a
all of
cinnamon
them.
one?
I've had like,
I forget
they've got
which
like a
one.
snickerdoodle. They've got a gingerbread. The
It is a
gingerbread's good.
snickerdoodle.
Oh my God, all of them are good. Like I literally have not had a bad one. I have not had one. Every time I try a new one, I say it's my favorite. And then I get the new one and I'm like, well, now that's
No,
my
my
favorite.
favorite.
I
One
would
we had
say
the other night
though,
at my house or last month at my house was really good. It was like
peanut butter. It was the peanut butter chocolate.
Oh, yeah.
And then you put salt in that creamy. It's a
So
freaking Reese's peanut butter cup. It's
it was
so
really
good. Yeah, that's probably my favorite right now. Right now, I cycle through. This is what I do. I have 4 flavors, and I cycle through every 4 days, and then I keep going. And so
That's the way to do it. That's
until
the way to
all
do it.
4, so then I never get like tired of
Yeah.
them. It's
Yeah.
always a new flavor every night for
Yeah.
4 nights, and then once all those tubs are gone, I'll rebuy another like 3 flavors and do the same thing.
Yeah.
So
It's efficient.
yeah.
And you're stocked up.
Yes.
It lasts a long time.
Exactly.
We do the same thing. Right?
So I think I have like a mint chocolate chip.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's so good. Guys, okay, wait. I went through this phase last improvement season where I was deep into my improvement season, and we were definitely having a lot of untracked meals. I think Dairy Queen has a monthly like new flavor blizzard. So
Oh.
this was like 2-3 years ago, right? And one of their monthly blizzards was a mint chocolate chip blizzard, but with brownie chunks in it.
Ooh, yum.
Guys, this thing, I got it one time, and then for a whole month, I went back twice a week and got
Seriously?
2 times a
That's
week
so
for the
funny.
whole month that it was available,
That's
and
so
got
funny.
this. And then I would ask for extra stuff in it, which was the extra chocolate chips and brownie bites.
Yeah.
And so then at that same time, this mint chocolate chip flavor came out through Get Raw Nutrition. It tastes identical.
Oh my
To
god.
That's
me,
amazing.
It tastes identical. It is
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
So anyways, that's that one. I'm really selling this. Like,
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are.
and then I have dark chocolate, and then I have peanut butter chocolate, and then I have a cookies and cream. And cookies,
The
and,
cookies
cream,
That's the one.
it
I
tastes just like the Oreo, the dark the cookie Oreo, the
Yeah,
Oreo
yeah,
cookie. It doesn't
That's
taste
my
like the
jam.
filling.
Cookies and cream.
It tastes like the
The
cookie.
cookie itself.
Yeah. Oh my god. Okay. Anyways, that's yeah.
So,
So,
we gave you
UXO and
two
Get Raw
brands.
Nutrition.
Those are our recommendations. Good flavors. And then, do you even?
I have
Do
a little bit.
protein shakes?
Sometimes I'll put it in my oatmeal. Sometimes, usually, when I get deeper into prep, I'm just eating my protein,
Yeah,
so I don't super use them all that much. But
yeah.
I agree with you with the vanilla bean, and I have done her cookies and cream. But yeah,
And then, do you guys do any if you're like on the go, like traveling, ready to drink? Like the Core Power or Fairlife protein shakes?
I do those all the time.
Yeah, I think the Core Power ones are okay.
I've
Those are the
only
ones-
done them.
You should just have one though. Don't. I
Yeah.
feel like if you eat 2 or more, then you're like.
I used to do the Premier Protein salted caramel.
Caramel in my
Yeah.
coffee. So I used
Yeah,
to put
those
that
are
in my
so
coffee. And I would make iced coffees with it. And
Yeah.
I only did those deep into my last off season. So
Yeah.
because I was just eating so much food that I couldn't handle it. And so I started drinking. I started drinking like orange juice. I started drinking chocolate milk. I started drinking Core Power, like those or premium or premier, whatever.
The Premier Protein have good macros.
Yeah. So and I would make iced coffees with them. So
I just wanted to shout out that there are ready to drink proteins for like on the go things. Like if you're in a pinch and you're traveling and there's a gas station or grocery store.
Yeah.
I think my top ones would be Premier Protein, Core Power, and then I've heard the Fairlife ones are good, but I haven't had them.
I haven't
Fairlife's
had
good.
the Fairlife ones yet.
I like the
Yeah.
lean bodies. Those are like the old
Lean
older-
body?
Yeah.
oh yeah,
So we used
It's
to
like
have
a red
for
and blue.
Mecca all the time.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Haven't had those ones.
Alrighty.
All right.
Next.
All right. This one's from Lindsay. She just wants to say that tortilla swap for an egg life wrap is way better. So she's on that egg life wrap.
Yeah.
I
have
feel
that.
like I've tried this in past preps, but it's been years. I don't remember.
I haven't had it in years. It was like a long time ago. So Egg Life, that's the brand, right?
Yeah.
They make an egg white wrap. It's like a flat.
pretty
little-
big,
looks
right?
like-
Isn't
yeah,
it
it's like
like-
this
Yeah.
big? It looks like a
And
tortilla.
And thin
You get them at Albertsons. Yep.
I felt it was like
in like a
little,
cooler section?
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I felt like it was a little spongy and flavorless for me.
Yeah.
So I would rather I feel like in a pinch, like if I was traveling and I really needed something and it was like an improvement season and I didn't really care that much, but like honestly, I would make room in my macros for a tortilla over that.
Yeah.
In personal opinion. But if you like couldn't have the carbs and you really wanted that style of thing, that's a good swap, I suppose, if you have
Mhm.
low carbs because
Yeah.
it is high protein.
Sometimes just the tricking the brain that you're eating a wrap. Like if you take like, let's say you really want, because right now what kind of sounds good is like a deli wrap. Like I want like deli meat and cheeses and tomatoes and lettuce. And so take that and then just wrap it up in this egg white thing. It kind of like tricks your brain.
It could,
Thank
so like
you.
thinking you're eating a tortilla,
Yeah.
but you're actually like having lower
Yeah.
macros.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it could be a really good swap for that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. No,
kinda cool.
I've never had that. I never even heard of it.
yeah.
I used to live with girls who ate those religiously. All right, next one. HB says, what does a bad day or bad week look like for you, and how do you reset?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Kind of switching up the flow.
Yeah. Well, I had a bad day yesterday.
Like,
but
she
it
probably
wasn't
has
that
recent
I know. I
bad,
was
so-
about to say I don't want to be the one to say, but Lord.
my life is really good yesterday. But like I just had for me I'm just thinking of bad day as like maybe like a struggle day mentally for like prep. Mine was more just energy fatigue levels. Like I went and got my oil changed and it took 3 hours and that was just like threw me off my schedule
Mhm.
and my eating schedule and I was really hungry and I started pacing around like crazy. But I am very grateful. I have a supportive partner who like was like, remember how grateful you are for everything else in your life. This shall pass.
This shall pass.
And so I think for me, like the biggest thing of like having, let's say in prep specific, like if I'm having a hard day, just like low energy or doubts or like I find myself slipping into a negative mindset, I think the biggest reset is making it like either writing it down or verbally talking about it with like one of my best friends, my partner, someone, of all the really good things that are happening. Um, like when I was having my bad moment yesterday, Anthony starts listing things. You had a low weight today. You are only 12 days out. You're looking your best. You're doing like you already have most of your cardio done today. You already have, like 14,000 steps done today. Like, just like listing out like the accomplishments that you already have and like the good things, and it kind of can like make your mindset shift to a more positive place. And then putting in together like maybe like a to-do list so that you feel like you have a productive track or productive way to get back on track. So yeah, that would be my answer.
I agree with you. I think if I'm deeper in prep, when I'm thrown off schedule, it is a little rough. Yeah. Because you just start to think of, and I feel like a little bit of almost like impending doom. If I have like this thing I have to get done and suddenly like for whatever reason it didn't get done in that time, I especially break down famously after the sun goes down, like 8-9 p.m. if I have stuff to do. Oh my goodness, good luck. Yeah, Zach's like, married to who? But yeah, but I know myself, so I know those are my things, and so it only happens like I really try to avoid it because I know that it's not my favorite, so I try to plan extra time. But sometimes, shit just happens. So you just have to kind of roll with the punches. Yeah. And I like what you said in terms of resetting. I am pretty solution oriented. And so if Zach can quiet me down enough, he can kind of usually lay out a plan of like, okay, well, if you want, I can get your meals done while you go do your cardio. So then you're still done by like 8:30, 8:45 instead of me. It'll be 9:30 by the time I'm done. So like things like that where he can kind of help with responsibilities and things like that I got to do. But yeah, I'm pretty solution oriented, so if I can kind of see the end of the light at the end of the tunnel, then I'm like, okay, new plan, we're good. But good luck to dealing with me for those 5-10 minutes beforehand.
At least you're honest about it. Like, acknowledge. You're like, I give myself that time to like just break down, and that's just who I am.
Yep. I'm like,
then we fix it. I think the important part is not sitting in that.
Exactly.
Like give yourself the space to like acknowledge, like, okay, having a moment here. Yeah. This is hard. Yeah. This sucks.
Yeah, because you definitely feel a little bit more ungrateful where you're like, this is unfair, whatever, like stupid stuff that you say, but never in public because when you're like acting like an idiot.
If someone saw me act like this right now, I'd be so embarrassed.
So of course, right? Yeah. Only the person that truly loves me gets amazing part of me. I choose to share with him for the rest of our lives.
Yeah. I'm like you. Like if my schedule gets thrown off, like, and there's like stuff that's not getting done or pushed back, I get like I just start like, it's just, oh my God. And that anxiety just arises. And I do get like irritable and grouchy, and my patience comes like this, like it's really small. But I kind of do like, I have a little freak out, like a little one for a minute, and I'm like,
just a little one.
And I think what helps is acknowledging. I will do that, and then I'll go, all right, I'm just freaked out. It's fine. Everything's fine. And I'll laugh about it. Like I'll like turn it into like, I just needed to do that. Here's the plan. I'm just going to like, I need to not talk. I feel really a lot better if I get some things done. Like and so like, if I can just like, it could be doing the dishes. It could be putting some laundry away. I just have to feel like I accomplished something. And then I'm like, okay, reset. Good. Let's now go do that cardio. Let's now go do whatever it is. Okay. I don't know. Let's go. So yeah, sometimes you just have to have your little freak outs, but then go breathe. I will do a deep breath and go, okay, that was silly. Now
talking about little goals, if I have like 45 minutes, or let's say like I didn't get to split up my cardio, so I have a whole hour to like 8 p.m. I literally lie to myself. I tell my brain, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go and do 15 minutes of cardio. And then I get to the 15 minutes, and for whatever reason, I'm like, oh, I'm already here. So I can just keep
Keep
going.
going from
But
the
I know that
15
I'm going to do the whole thing, but it's like, I
Yeah.
can't tell myself, oh, I have to go do an hour of cardio.
No, yeah.
Sometimes my brain just can't handle that.
You have to
And
lie
then
to
I'll
your
just keep
little
putting it
inner
off.
voice. You have to lie to your-
Yeah, because then you end up taking, like, I'm like, oh, let me go do this. Let me go do this. And all of a sudden it's later and late. Like I start pushing it.
Yeah.
And that's not what I want to do. I want to go get it done and feel I guess the motivation kind
Yeah.
of a little
Yeah.
bit. Like it's like a trick motivation. I don't know.
Yeah.
Reverse psychology on yourself.
I will. Yeah. Well, with cardio, like there's because it's probably like going into a cardio or a lift because like it's where you got to like expend energy and we don't
Yeah.
have it and we're running low on time and I don't know.
Yeah.
And so I will, especially with cardio, if I'm having one of those days, like a really bad one of those days, then I will just say, I won't even think about my heart rate. I'll say for 5 minutes, just move. Get on the treadmill,
Mhm.
put it at this incline, make it not easy, but doable. Like, you know what I mean? And then usually after 5 minutes, I'm like, okay, we feel fine. Let's bump up this. Now
Let's
heart
go.
rate. Like,
Yes.
who cares? 5 minutes of not the right heart rate doesn't matter.
Right.
Like, and then it just, that gives you that like dopamine or something.
Yes,
like,
and snowballs.
yeah,
It's so much easier. It's just
so
that
much
first
easier.
push.
Just get on and like just get some like high incline steps.
Yep.
And then it gets the heart rate kind of going. You feel better. You're moving. You're like, I'm
Exactly.
here. And then you take it serious. Like you go. So that helps me.
Isn't that like one of the like Newton's principles? An object in motion remains in motion.
Yeah, something.
Yeah. So it's like you
Sounds like
get
physics.
right.
So basically I'm doing
But like like you once you get the ball rolling, like it's easier to move forward
Yeah.
into the next task. And like usually once you're occupied in like being productive, it's like way easier for the mind to come back and to like
Yeah, I think it's a law of inertia.
Sanity.
with lifting. So something I do, what I did this prep that I never, I like when I have a workout plan, I like I'm pretty good about like, I follow it like in order,
Mhm.
unless a machine or whatever.
Mhm.
I try to be super meticulous with that. But this prep, if there was one of those hard days, I'm like, just go in and do your favorite glute exercise.
Yeah.
Just start with your favorite. Don't care what it is. What is the favorite one? What gives you the best glute activation? And then I go and do that. And then it's like, I'm good. And then we're ready to get the workout going.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'll do that on those days. That helps.
I like
That
that.
helps
But-
a lot.
I like that.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Next question. Stephanie wants to know.
Oh.
Sorry, not you.
I
Sorry.
was like, yes.
It's a weird, I don't know how to
Is this
pronounce
from
I was
the
like, we
last
never
name.
call her Stephanie.
I know. I was like, oh.
She wants to know if someone could share the tanning spray link.
Oh, for
Protein?
like
Yeah.
you use Liquid Sun Rays. We talked about that on one of the previous podcasts.
Oh, yeah. I use Liquid Sun Rays. I do not do it myself. I let them tan me. That's just what works better for me and my skin. And I personally have tanned myself before, and I just don't like the process. So for me, it doesn't work for me. But Liquid Sun Rays is who I use. And
I've been doing the Protein DIY, if that's the one you're talking about, but it's not a spray. I actually like dump it in a little jar and use a little mitt
rub on.
and rub it on. But if you're looking to get a quality spray tan and you're not comfortable doing the DIY, booking the show's tan is always a safe bet.
Yep.
Because even if like something messes up, there's staff on hand. They're gonna help you. None of the staff are gonna let you go on stage looking bad if you are using their product.
Yeah.
So they'll help you out. But we can link
we
the
can link it.
DIY kits, I guess.
Yeah. Liquid
we'll-
Sun Rays
we'll
has
link all
one.
the-
Protan has one. I think if you're brand new, I would. If it's your first show, get spray tanned. Don't do it yourself.
Get sprayed, and then you'll even know what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah, and feel like. Yeah,
it's a feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
coating.
yeah, if someone's just looking for the like I do the Protein DIY,
I do Protein too.
we can
We'll link it.
We'll link it on our YouTube.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Protan is probably the most popular, most common, and Liquid Sun Ray is probably next.
Yeah,
I
I
think
would
those
say
are like
so.
the two
I would
main
say
ones
so.
in the industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Muscles Made by Pancakes said she just ordered some dressing packets for her purse.
Oh, yay!
That's what Lo does, right? You guys both do that, right?
Yeah. She messaged me and told me that too. That's awesome to hear that you guys actually like listen to our podcast and be like, oh my gosh,
Take
that's a
the
good
tip.
idea.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that the other day. I was like looking through my pantry and I was like, I haven't done that in forever because I haven't like gone out to eat with a salad. And so I was
Right.
like, that's actually such a like, because I was cleaning my organizing and stuff. And I was like, I'm definitely keeping these for when I'm
I
like,
have yet to try that.
I almost want to make like a to-go sample pack of things for like my car with
Like a kit.
Yeah, like a kit, like with like salad dressing, maybe salt packets.
Oh my God. Bikini Besties product idea.
Oh,
I just said that.
to-go kit.
Cody, cut that out. I'm just
That's
kidding.
so funny.
I was somewhere the other day and I needed salt and I didn't have like
Yeah.
the right amount.
I
So
definitely have
was
salt in my car.
Oh,
yeah,
like little.
I have it in like my desk at work and all
We
Yeah,
can
that.
I
have-
get mad
we
actually
can
when
have,
I
like,
get
a little
into
travel
Zach's car.
scale, little
Yeah,
mini,
I
little
love
mini
that.
measuring spoons.
That's cute.
Little mini.
I love that.
No one steal our idea. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Patented.
Yeah, I said it on the
Recorded and
podcast. I
patented.
own it.
So our friend Heather says, she said, something that's helped me get my heart rate up during cardio is 5 to 15 minutes in the sauna prior to doing cardio, or after.
Yeah.
Prior or after.
Yeah,
like
Zach can
elevating
do
your
it.
heart rate.
Would it be
or,
prior-
like,
wouldn't it
elevating
be
your
prior?
core temp.
I think prior, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
prior.
Sorry.
I can
Prior.
see that.
Prior.
Yep.
Yeah,
I've never tried that. No.
kind of like the concept of like a warm up.
Yep.
You know,
The only two things I'd have against it is like
It made me tired.
I don't want to start cardio like wet.
pre-sweaty.
Yeah, and the sauna makes me tired. So
That too.
when I like get that, when I get hot, like even when it's hot outside, like I just get tired.
Yeah.
I
would
feel
take a
run
different
down.
type of motivation to
Yeah.
get.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you could think of it like as any type of warm up. So cardio or for cardio, like or a lift. So sauna's one idea. I've also you've done it too, like maybe even like jogging for
I was
first
about to
couple
say.
minutes
Yeah.
or something to
2
like
to
just
5
really
minutes.
spike.
Yeah.
your
That's
heart rate.
efficiency as well because when you're deeper in prep, when you said 5 to 15 minutes before cardio, I was like,
So I
that
need
is
that
a
many much more
long ass time.
Maybe just a
I
couple
was
minutes.
trying to talk myself out of this cardio.
Right. I'm like anything in 2 minutes.
Okay, next.
Next one. Castro Gaines says, how do you deal with feeling like you won't be ready for a show?
Oof.
Oh, that's like
a
Annoy
good
your
one.
coach. Annoy your coach. I'm not ready. I don't feel ready. I've done that. I've definitely done
Yeah,
that.
we've
I have
all
to
not
say.
felt ready.
Yeah.
We've all.
But I've annoyed my
It's
coach
always
about
that
it.
4 or 5 week out mark.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah. And I think there's like a difference between like, do you feel like you're not ready because you really don't look ready or because you have self-doubt? Like,
Mhm.
are you just like second guessing, like the prep goggles is
Mhm.
like kind of what, you know, some people call it.
yeah.
Like,
They're
are
real.
you, because
Yeah.
like I've seen people who are like insanely ready and shredded and they're looking in the mirror and they're like, I'm just not ready.
Sometimes I feel like it's when I get it the worst if I am used to seeing my physique a certain amount of leanness at a certain amount of weeks out.
Or
But as
number on the scale.
or a certain number on the scale. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, a certain number on the scale. But as you progress in the sport and gain muscle, like my stage weight each time has gone up and
Yeah.
I've looked better. So I think sometimes that kind of plays in your head. There was one time I actually gained 6 pounds 3 weeks out and I was like, oh my God, I don't think this is going to work. But just as long as your coach, I think that voicing, like not being annoying, that was just a joke, but like at least voicing your feelings to your coach of where you're at so that they can check in with you because again,
Yeah.
I always view it as more of a partnership. And so I feel like for you to, help me the most, you have to understand where I'm at. And so if I'm saying, and keep it concise, like you could say, this week I haven't really felt as tight or, the number went up and it's making me feel like maybe we're a little bit far out. Do you feel the same? And if they reassure you, then they reassure you and you just keep going. But if they're like, oh yeah, I would be okay with doing X show 2 weeks later, then think about that. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
give your coach adequate feedback
Yeah,
in a
absolutely.
productive way so you guys can make a decision either to push your show or they can reassure you that
Mhm,
you'll be
to
ready.
just keep grinding.
One thought that actually came to my head is actually something that you've done for me
Wow.
when I was like feeling like I wasn't dropping or I wasn't lean enough and I wasn't going to be ready or stuff is comparing a photo of like
Pictures,
maybe
yeah.
X
Yeah.
weeks out from
Queen of
your
side by
last show to
sides.
X weeks out this show or even start of prep to now so
Yeah.
you can like visually see the changes.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So maybe you may like take a picture of yourself either or like use your check-in photo from either same number of weeks out from a previous show, or like from starter prep to now, or like maybe at the same weight.
Yeah,
at a
whatever's
different
giving
time
you the
period.
self-doubt. Whatever's giving you the self-doubt, just look
Yeah.
at it.
Um,
Because you're probably lying to yourself.
Yeah.
yeah.
Honestly.
So maybe then you can actually like visually see it, and like when you see the changes, and you're like, oh, I actually look pretty good compared to that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Or I've
You can
improved
see
so
all the
much.
improvements.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
So that's something that, like, I mean, I've done it before, but like I recently,
Yeah.
this prep you've had.
I probably do it
made me
too much.
that.
I'm like, it's been 4 weeks of prep. I'm like, there's not that much change. I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna give it a little bit.
Steph's famous for texting us photos, and I'm like, those are 3 days apart.
Yeah. And look, I look tighter.
Like, don't you see?
I'm always like, all about the wins, the small wins. Like, yay,
Blow that up.
yay
Blow
me again.
that up.
Yeah.
They do.
All right, next question. This person was commenting on episode 15, how to navigate show day and show weekend. She had asked, I'd like to know if you guys have done a show weekend completely solo, and if so, how to navigate with photos, support, and backstage, etc.
Oh, good question. That's another one. Good one. I've never done that.
Yeah.
I don't know. You
I
guys?
have, yeah.
Okay.
I've gone to show solo. So I think the hard part is your bags in the airport. I hate that. I hate that. I 100% think there should be like a job where it's like when you go to the
Competitor
hotel-
assistant? Oh.
No, like like the guy that takes your
The
bags from the
Like a
car.
concierge.
bellhop?
Yeah,
or
it's, like, it's not a concierge, it's a bellhop.
Bellhop?
I think it's that. Yeah, in the
Maybe
airport.
in like the 1950s.
Yeah, but that'd be amazing for you to
Or
go
in
pee.
expensive hotels.
Yeah, the worst part is when you have to go pee and then you have to like.
Oh, yes.
And
Bring
get, like,
all
all
of it
your
in
bags.
there in this little
And then I'm just like
stall.
thinking of how my stuff is touching like bathrooms. Oh god, I hate it. So
Yeah.
anyway, that's the part I hate the most about traveling solo. It's just my stuff. But I think photos wise, I usually bring a tripod, so I just do it the same way
Yeah.
as I do at home.
Yeah.
I bring extra lights usually. What else is hard? Food wise, I always have my griddle, so I'm not going anywhere.
Oh my god.
Yeah. You can
I probably
Instacart.
stay in more actually when I'm solo than going out.
Because I did a lot of shows on my own before I moved to Idaho and met Anthony. And I had a lot of fun. I did join like a team for one of them, and I even if you have someone who has like the same coach as you that's doing the same show, or maybe another girl that you follow on Instagram.
Mhm.
Something that's kind of fun to do is you can even like maybe book a hotel room together so you can share
Yeah.
expenses,
Mhm.
or even like plan if you're like coming from somewhere similar, like maybe your flights get in around the same time and you guys can go to the hotel together. Then you can also take pictures of each other backstage. So even like looking up like who else is competing,
Yeah.
and making a connection. That's actually how I found you.
Yeah.
And look where we are.
Right?
And Kaylia's in 2019, I met her briefly at Cascadian Classic. I came over to Idaho for Idaho Muscle Classic 2019. And yes, my family was here, but like they're not backstage. They like stopped in and watched like prejudging, and like they were supportive, but like they weren't the same as like having a person there like
Mhm.
helping me. Like I did tripod photos for all my check-ins, but like Kaylia's husband like took pictures of us like outside. I think we have like 200
Yeah.
pictures of us against like this gray wall.
Yeah. Oh my God. Outside.
And I'd met them once, and I like messaged her on Instagram like once, but we have pictures backstage, we have pictures all over it, and we like
awesome.
created a friendship, and we like I used her husband for photos.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like people
The iPhone photographer.
right, people at shows are friendly and
Yeah.
they want to help you, and they're also there for that experience.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
just like no one's gonna be like, no, I won't take a picture of you with your trophy. Like
yeah.
tons of people will take pictures of for you or help you out or
Mhm.
make a connection with either someone you met online or that's also doing the show, or maybe a teammate. That's
Mhm.
my recommendation.
Backstage friendships are the best, and
They
honestly,
are.
when everyone's hustling for that athletes meeting, they're like this way. Everyone.
Yeah.
It's just everything is just all the feelings are all like unified.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
nice. It's really nice.
Yeah.
All right, next question. Definitely would love some pointers on core control, especially through comparison transitions.
Mhm.
And that was by Allie.
Kaylia.
Like, look at you.
I'm like, I have stupid cues, but they're like personal. I don't know.
So okay, let me back up. Let me see. This is what I tell my clients to do. So we have a core control guide and mobility guide. And there's 3 levels. There's intro to vacuums, there's level 1, and there's level 2. Intro is, so I believe that you should be working on your vacuums morning and night. Fasted, nothing in your stomach. It's the easiest way to do a vacuum. But then in the evening when you've eaten, because when we go on stage, and water, all day of water, fluids. When we go on stage, we do have fluids and food in our stomach. So you want to be able to know how to control your core with all that in you. So morning and night. And it's usually just like a few reps, like 5 minutes or less of worth of vacuums. It's nothing too crazy. I think time wise. What I think is even more important than that is making sure all day you are holding your core in. So you are bracing, and it's kind of what I call doing a half vacuum, or a quarter vacuum, a mini vacuum, because we don't do vacuums on stage. What we do, the vacuum is a technique in order to gain mind-muscle connection with your core and be able to engage it and hold it throughout the day or on stage. And so, but the mini vacuum we do on stage, we tighten and squeeze our core and we slightly pull in. And so we want a flat and engaged core, not a sucked in core. So you want to be making sure, like when you're cooking, driving, cleaning, working out, whatever you're doing, you are not letting your core go, and you have it. You've engaged it and you've slightly pulled in and you're keeping it tight, and you learn, like right now I'm doing it and I can talk, I can breathe, you learn how to function while keeping that core tight.
Yeah, you build the conscious connection of holding it tight while you're doing all like your regular movements and everything. So then even like on stage when you're doing transitions, you're consciously able to
You've trained your core to be able to, you've done all this conditioning to train your core to stay in and engaged when you are on stage, moving around, kind of nervous, adrenaline going.
I guess you could almost even argue that then it becomes subconscious because
Yes.
you've already been trained.
Yes. And so I have girls start out, especially if they're new, intro to vacuums is where they do it in a bent over state. So they're either on all fours or their hands are bent over on like a tabletop or a chair or a stool, because it's a lot easier to engage our core and pull in and vacuum when we're bent over, typically for most people. And then level 1, once you've done that for about anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks, it just depends on how much you're practicing at it, how much effort you're putting into it. But then you go into level 1, which is where you are either lying flat or you are standing. So you're more in a stretched position. You're not bent over, and you do same thing, vacuums. And then after you've done that you'll kind of keep. The level 1, that'll be like your routine thing that you do. But once you feel really confident and comfortable with your level 1 vacuums, and that's just your main vacuum that you do morning and night, you move into level 2, which is where you start practicing your vacuum technique in the anterior pelvic tilt, because that is where it's the hardest to engage and control your core, is when we're in the anterior pelvic tilt is like the bikini pose, like back pose. We're pushing our hips back. We're tilting our hips back. When we stretch the abdominals in that way, when we tilt our hips back, it stretches the front of our core. It feels like almost impossible to like engage and pull that core in. So but you can do it. It's just a trained thing. You've just got to practice at it. It's not the sexy answer. You have to spend a lot of days, weeks, months practicing this to build that skill set in your core. And so that's level 2, is being in the anterior pelvic tilt and doing it like in your front pose. So that's my spiel on core control.
And I guess the only last thing that I would add to that too is you can work with a posing coach on possibly even adding some arm or hand movements, that like maybe even crossing while you're transitioning to hide your core while you're moving and transitioning on stage in comparisons, just to coordinate at the same time, if you have like a trouble spot or something that you need to be able to like almost cover it. So there's ways to navigate that as well, so you can add that on.
Yep. And another thing is just making sure in general you practice comparisons. You don't the only time you do comparisons shouldn't be when you're on stage.
Yeah.
And so the more you practice it, the more you drill it outside of off the stage leading up to showtime, it's called your posing stamina, your posing conditioning. You've trained that and you've built that to be able to handle yourself on stage when you have to do comparisons. We all use like YouTube videos, shows that we record on our phones. When we're watching shows, we screen record and we will pose to those videos, and it gives us practice at holding our poses and transitioning when the judges say so, their timing, not our timing. So just the more you do that, the better you're going to be on stage. One final thing, a cue that I found has helped a lot of girls is to engage their core and not do a vacuum on stage, is to learn what this feels like, is breathe all your air out, like breathe it all out, and then squeeze and tighten your core. From there, don't breathe in, squeeze and tighten your core, then breathe in with short breaths from your nose to chest and practice that. So that's a breathing technique. So it's not just core control technique, it's also breathing technique on stage. So practicing how to breathe from nose to chest with an engaged core is also something you should be doing to help you on stage.
Yeah. I use that breathing technique when I transition, especially when you are moving from your S curve to your side glute. I think a lot of people lose their core. That was one place I really lost my core, and I wouldn't necessarily feel it as much, but I found that if I did a short breath in when I did that, even subconsciously, I just tightened it up, would keep it tight. Yeah. Yeah.
So basically, just go get critiques from performance posing.
Pretty much. That was the summary
Sign
statement.
up with performance posing, you'll get the full mobility and core guide from Kaylia.
Yeah.
It's pretty sweet.
It's detailed.
Okay. P. Gramley says, would love to have the recipes for some of those sauces, cookies, donuts, and all the hacks you were mentioning. So we could make some things up. There's a couple cool things we have.
Oh boy. Oh yeah, like a little Bikini Besties macro guide.
I was like, there's a couple things we can make, like a Bikini Besties Bible, little travel.
Yeah, and then we can have different. Yeah, we can have different topics, and instead of it just being food.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
Okay, we'll try to do better at sharing those things.
Yes.
Do
like a little
putting them. Yeah, and like also.
In a shareable
like
format
putting them
for y'all.
Yeah, shareable format, or making a highlight on our Instagram and sharing them on stories. Like maybe
tell us what format would work best for you guys too. That would be
good.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do that. We will get on that.
Thank you for engaging with us and really guiding, our episodes and the details that we focus on. It really does help us to know that we are giving back and providing advice and helpful tips that really, benefits our followers and our besties. So you'll be seeing our question box stickers and anonymous question box stickers pop up in the next couple weeks here. And so I know we didn't get to all of them, but we'd love to do this again in about 4 to 6 weeks. So if you could keep engaging and just letting us know comments, questions, even if it's not related to that specific question box, just let us know anything and everything.
Yeah, keep shooting us DMs on our Instagram, comment on Spotify, YouTube, and IG. Any of those places, it reaches all of us, and so we love hearing from you guys. It really actually means a lot to hear that one of our small little tips could have helped or inspired someone. So thank you again so much for commenting, engaging, and sharing our podcast.
Yeah.
Thanks, besties.
Thanks, guys.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.